Before we get to the news, this is an urgent message. Before watching this report, please subscribe to our backup channel. The link is in the description below. Thank you. Well, this may be the big break we've been waiting for. Robert Mueller just got caught covering it all up. This could end it all, and I'm praying that it does. I'm praying the president takes this opportunity and shuts it down once and for all. Joshua Kaplan for Breitbart News reports that the Office of Special Counsel deleted text messages from the iPhone of the fired FBI agent Peter Strzok before turning it over to the Department of Justice, according to the Office of Inspector General in a report that was released by the federal watchdog. Now, the Justice Department's Inspector General released a report stating thousands of text messages exchanged between Strzok and FBI attorney Lisa Page could not be recovered after Robert Mueller's team wiped clean the phones that had issued them. Yeah. They write here, SCO records officer told the OIG that as part of the office's records retention procedure, the officer reviewed Strzok's DOJ-issued iPhone after he returned it to the SCO and determined it contained no substantive text messages. No substantive text messages. This is the official report of the investigation recovery of text messages from the FBI's mobile devices. Conservative Review national security reporter Jordan Sachel first discovered the OIG said the Strzok cell phone was reset to factory settings, deleting all data stored on the device of the stored on the device. Now, of the recovered text messages, was revealed the plot to overthrow the President of the United States. Remember this moment?
Okay, I'm going to read this text message from Page to Strzok on August the 8th, after he'd gotten the nomination. She says, Trump's not ever going to become president, right? Right? Strzok responded, no, he's not. Well, stop it. Now, I don't know how you feel about that. That's pretty unnerving. Strzok, wasn't he the lead investigator of the Clinton email investigation?
He was, in essence, the lead investigator.
Okay,
yeah.
So the head guy looking at Clinton on August the 8th says we got to stop Trump. Now, was that just idle talk? A week later, here's what they say to each other. Strzok text message to Lisa Page. I want to believe the path you threw out for consideration in Andy's office, that there's no way he gets elected, but I'm afraid we can't take that risk. It's like an insurance policy in the unlikely event you die before you're 40. Now, that's a week later. Who's Andy?
Our understanding, it was Andy McCabe, the deputy director.
So you got the deputy director meeting with the lead investigator of the Clinton email investigation, and Miss Page, who's involved somehow, meeting in Andy's office discussing taking out an insurance policy to make sure Donald Trump doesn't become president? Is that what you're telling us?
So right there you have it. In front of Congress. The plot to overthrow the president. Now, good news is over 20,000 of the lost text messages have been recovered thus far, and of course that's what we discovered. The plot. The OIG forensically recovered thousands of text messages from FBI devices issued to Strzok and Page through its multiple extraction efforts. When confronted on the coup attempt by Congress, Strzok became the poster boy of the deep state with his overt defiance. Remember this moment?
If you were kicked off when you read the text, shouldn't you have been kicked off when you wrote them?
Not at all.
Well, it wasn't the discovery of your text, Mr. Strzok. It was the existence of your bias that got you kicked off.
No, Mr. Gowdy, it wasn't. I do not have bias. My personal opinions in no way.
Well, then why did you get kicked off? Why'd you get kicked off?
Sir, I think it's important when you look at those texts that you understand the context in which they were made and the things that were going on across America. In terms of the text that we will stop it, you need to understand that that was written late at night, off the cuff, and it was in response to a series of events that included then-candidate Trump insulting the immigrant family of a fallen war hero. And my presumption, based on that horrible, disgusting behavior, that the American population would not elect somebody demonstrating that behavior to be president of the United States. It was in no way, unequivocally, any suggestion that me, the FBI, would take any action whatsoever to improperly impact the electoral process for any candidate. So I take great offense and I take great disagreement to your assertion of what that was or wasn't. As to the 100 million to one, that was clearly a statement made in jest and using hyperbole. I, of course, recognize that millions of Americans were likely to vote for candidate Trump. I acknowledge that is absolutely their right. That is what makes our democracy such a vibrant process that it is. But to suggest somehow that we can parse down the words of shorthand textual conversations like there's some contract for a car is simply not consistent with my or most people's use of text messaging. I can assure you, Mr. Chairman, at no time in any of these texts did those personal beliefs ever enter into the realm of any action I took. Furthermore, this isn't just me sitting here telling you, you don't have to take my word for it. At every step, at every investigative decision, there are multiple layers of people above me, the assistant director, executive assistant director, deputy director, and director of the FBI, and multiple layers of people below me, section chiefs, supervisors, unit chiefs, case agents, and analysts, all of whom were involved in all of these decisions. They would not tolerate any improper behavior in me any more than I would tolerate it in them. That is who we are as the FBI. And the suggestion that I, in some dark chamber somewhere in the FBI, would somehow cast aside all of these procedures, all of these safeguards, and somehow be able to do this is astounding to me. It simply couldn't happen. And the proposition that that is going on, that it might occur anywhere in the FBI, deeply corrodes what the FBI is in American society, the effectiveness of their mission, and it is deeply destructive.
What's destructive is the fact that you have a trusted agency and two individuals within that agency having an affair with each other, sending late-night sex messages to each other, discussing the destruction of a president. Now, sadly, missing text messages from the pair's iPhones, though, continue to elude the FBI thanks to Robert Mueller and his team deleting evidence. We hope to get those. But following the defiant testimony and revelation of the FBI deep state coup of an elected president, Judicial Watch Tom Fitton broke it all down. Take a look.
I'm going to bring in now Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch, always on top of these things. So the question is, which side is right? What do the text messages really show? And you've studied this, and what do you see?
Well, you know, Strzok's lawyer's position is, are you going to believe me or your lying eyes? A media leak strategy is just what it says. An insurance policy is just what it says. When Strzok writes, we're going to stop President Trump, everyone knows what that means. And his arguments that they don't mean what they say just doesn't hold water. In fact, that's one reason that Mr. Strzok is no longer with the FBI. He'd been fired. The leadership of the FBI, who thought they could get away with illegally targeting a candidate for the president of the United States. And McCabe's been fired, Comey's been fired, Mr. Strzok's been fired. And, you know, frankly, what I think needs to be done is we need to hold Mr. Mueller accountable for what went on here, because these are the cops that made Mueller's case. And without Strzok, without Page, without this illicit activity related to the DNC dossier, without the illegal targeting of Carter Page, in my view, you wouldn't have a Mueller investigation. And so any other prosecution marred by this misconduct by the investigators would be shut down. And I don't understand why Congress doesn't take more of a leadership role here. Certainly the president is highlighting Mueller's corruption, or the corruption of the special counsel investigation. And someone's got to call what's going on here for what's actually happening, is that you've got this corrupted Mueller investigation as a result of this misconduct during the Obama administration into the Trump administration.
Tom, what do you do with the FBI, though? Because the person appointed at the top, Christopher Wray, was appointed by this particular president. I mean, and then you have this president kind of watching. I saw him retweet Lou Dobbs saying that, you know, you may as well have Eric Holder at the top of the DOJ. There has been so little done with regard to this.
Well, I think this is why the Mueller investigation needs to be shut down, so the president can provide the proper oversight.
Do you really think that'll happen?
I think it needs to happen.
And it does need to happen. And President Trump needs to take this latest news, this latest report from the Inspector General, that Mueller deleted text messages, deleted evidence, needs to take this and use it to shut down the entire thing. Shut it down. Use this as a way to shut down this entire sham. This is blatant obstruction of justice by Mueller and his cronies. Mr. President, use your executive authority and shut it down. America is counting on you. Comment below. We'll see you at the next report. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi. Thanks for sticking around. Now, remember in Westerns, when a cowboy would hit the bar, order a slug of bourbon, kick it back, and then slide a silver coin across the counter? Well, that coin could have been a Morgan silver dollar, yeah, back in the day when they used real silver coins. Now, between 1878 and 1921, everyone used the Morgan until the silver prices went up. And then it was worth more when they melted it down. Well, now you can own a real valuable piece of history because Noble Gold has secured great examples of this piece of American history just in time for Christmas. If you want something different for Christmas, yeah, and you don't want to spend a fortune, the Morgan Silver Dollar is just the thing. Use promo code Gary at historicsilvercoins.com and you're going to save $5 per coin for a limited time. You could end up with one of the coins that folks like Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday had in their pockets. Yeah, that's a present that nobody's going to forget. Use promo code Gary to get $5 savings per coin at historicsilvercoins.com. Thank you for watching that report. If you want more, subscribe to the channel by clicking on the Next News Network logo right here. You can also watch our latest news reports by clicking here, or you can get the latest breaking news by clicking here, or the most viral news on the channel, the news that Hillary and Obama hate, right here.